You are now listening to Just Another Year Chicago with your host, Nick Rohde. Hello everyone, welcome back to this Monday's episode of Just Another Year Chicago. My name is Nick Rohde, and today we're going to be previewing tonight's matchup of the Chicago Bulls versus the Boston Celtics at the United Center. Before we begin, please remember to hit that subscribe button, comment on this video, and follow me on Twitter at ChicagoNick. And yes, I do follow and subscribe back. So tonight, the Bulls take on the Celtics at the United Center in a what's looking like snowy, crazy weather outside game against the Bulls. The Bulls are looking to win their fourth out of their last five. Obviously, last game they played the Lakers and didn't turn out so well against the defending world champions. And earlier in the season, the Bulls played the Lakers, and it was a much better contest in Los Angeles. But that was also because a guy named Anthony Davis was not playing. So it shows how much of an impact Anthony Davis has on the LA Lakers. So the Lakers are looking like the elite championship team that they were last year again. So the Bulls are either going to have to step up big time, or we're going to have to find a way to acquire someone in order to beat that star power if we were to meet them again in the playoffs, which the only time would be in the NBA Finals. So the Celtics are also a good team that the Bulls are taking on tonight. They stand at 9-6 and are 4-4 on the road, which, 500 on the road, not bad, can't complain, but obviously they are much better at home. So the Bulls come into United Center looking to win 4 out of their last 5, as said earlier, and I think that this could be a really good game. You have two very elite scorers in Jaylen Brown and Zach LaVine going at it. Jaylen Brown's averaging a little bit over 27 points a game. Zach LaVine is averaging nearly 27 points a game. And the same exact field goal percentages. LaVine is much better free throw shooter. But overall, I think that this is going to be a really good matchup, especially between those two. And this is kind of like what we saw back in 2009, where the Celtics were a super good team. They had a big trio of, Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, Rajon Rondo. So not a trio, they had a squad. But the Celtics were looking good, and they were just coming off winning the NBA Finals. So overall, the Bulls have a lot to take on tonight. But the same thing like the Bulls back in 2009, the Bulls are the baby Bulls right now. The baby Bulls 2.0. They're young, they're fast, they're learning, they have a good head coach. Overall, this Bulls team is looking very good, and I think it's going to be a good matchup tonight against the Boston Celtics. Especially, I watched the Celtics 76ers game over the weekend, and man, I don't know if the Sixers are looking dominant. I know that their record shows that they're pretty dominant, but the Celtics, I don't know. They got a lot going on with that roster. The guys are looking confused with each other, not gelling well, and that's why they're not really that much above 500. I can't talk for the Bulls, but the Bulls also didn't have high expectations this year. So I think it's going to be a good game, but there is an injury status that kind of worries me for the Bulls. Wendell Carter Jr. is out for his third game with the same exact injury. He is suffering from a quad injury. That's something that's a little concerning for the Chicago Bulls. It's their big man. It's a guy they have a lot of faith in, as someone that they're considering either getting rid of for draft picks or being put in a trade package, and he hasn't been playing. And that's something that the Bulls need. The Bulls need his presence. He's a good big man. He can rebound. He can shoot the three, and he is the new NBA big man overall. So concerning injury, and he just can't stay healthy. I mean, he's constantly injured. And I like Wendell Carter Jr. He had a lot of hope, but he's got to get better. I don't know if he's not stretching enough. I don't know exactly what's going on. But overall, something needs to get figured out to keep him healthy and on the court, because he is a real key to this team moving forward for success in the future. Or else they're going to have to draft a center this year, trade up, or go through another rebuild to get a center that they like. So overall, I want to see someone else step up, though. I mean, Larry Markkinen, I said last time, but I want to see Coby White step up tonight. Coby White has been playing better. He's been showing that he's a starting point guard in the NBA, but I want to see him hitting more threes consistently. He'll go on cold streaks and then be red hot. And that's something that I miss. I mean, that's what Bulls fans love about Coby White. He's exciting. He's got a lot of energy. And that's something that I think that he needs to bring tonight, especially against a tough Boston Celtics team. And he'll be going against a guy named Marcus Smart, who is a very tough defender. He can shoot the ball. And though Coby White is much bigger height-wise than Smart, Smart's a super tough, thick point guard. And he's going to make it known to Coby White that it's not going to be an easy matchup. So that's someone that really needs to step up on defense and offense in order to help not only shut down Marcus Smart, but get in his head and, make double teams happen to keep other guys open. Because once you start double teaming anyone on this Bulls team, you're going to have another shooter open on the court. So, just like any team, but the Bulls do have a lot of threats who can shoot the three ball, who can shoot the mid-range. So more to come on that. But also, as a team for the Bulls, there has to be less turnovers against this Boston Celtics team. The Celtics, they're a high-scoring team. They are potentially missing Kemba Walker tonight, which is huge, their starting point guard. But overall, you need to find a way in order to keep the ball out of Boston's hands as much as possible. And the Bulls are one of the highest teams in the league with the most turnovers. Sure, that comes with inexperience. That comes with learning the speed of the NBA. That learns gelling together. Though this team is practically the same team from last year, it's inexcusable how many turnovers the Bulls have, especially late in games. Bulls can't do that against the Celtics team. They need to keep their foot on the pedal, and if they gain a lead, they need to keep it the rest of the game. So, and I'm talking, if they're up 2-0, keep it. Don't let them score. Go up 4-0. I don't care if you let them go if it's 4-2. You cannot let this Boston team get away with scoring. So that's something that the Bulls need to focus on tonight in order to win. And that's their biggest struggle throughout the season is turnovers. So overall, it's going to be a really fun game tonight. It's in Chicago, which is great. I'm sure the weather is not going to have a factor, but because players have to get their hours before the game. But it's going to be a very cold, windy night in Chicago, and hopefully the Bulls can stay hot and, not let the weather or, getting to the game get to them. But overall, this is going to be a lot of fun. So I think that the Bulls tonight are going to win because, again, Boston is a 500 team on the road. They're missing Kemba Walker, and they're coming off a pretty bad loss to the Philadelphia 76ers over the weekend. So I got the Bulls winning tonight 108-104. Hopefully that's the outcome. Hopefully there's more of a win than that, but a win's a win, and if the Bulls win tonight, they become one game within 500. Again, they win 4 out of their last 5, and that's momentum that a young team needs, especially for confidence. Just a quick reminder that there is no Bulls game this Wednesday night against the Memphis Grizzlies, as the Grizzlies have been dealing with COVID all season long. I believe they had their last 3 games canceled, and they just reported today that they're having the game against the Chicago Bulls postponed as well because they won't have enough players. Also, the fear of spreading more. So, Bulls are going to get a lucky break. I know for fantasy basketball owners, not having Zach LaVine play is, it hurts. I almost traded for him, but luckily he's still doing well, but he's not on my team. So I guess it's, a toss-up for that. But in all, that's the preview for tonight's game. Expect a good defensive matchup. Expect a fast, high-scoring game. And hopefully the Bulls need to focus on a few things in order to keep this momentum up. Because if you win 4 out of your last 5, you never know, and you pull within 500. Who knows? The Bulls, again, I said at the beginning of the season that the Bulls could be an 8 seed or 6 to 8 seed. So we'll see. But with that, that's the conclusion of today's episode. More to come on the Chicago Bulls moving forward. But before we leave, make sure to hit that subscribe button, comment on this video your thoughts, and make sure to follow me on Twitter at ChicagoNick. And yes, I do follow and subscribe back. Thank you very much for listening today, and go Bulls.